Okay, got it all marked out. I started playing around with the foam. It might be upside down compared to whatever, but it should look okay still. Your up might be my down on YouTube versus here, kind of a thing, when it's all said and done. But anyway, yeah, so get up here where I can see what the camera's looking at. So I got put some tape. Which end is there's the camera. Okay, yeah, so I put some tape here, got a little mark going right there. This doesn't really work that good, does it? No. But yeah, okay, yeah, there you can see the mark. Yeah, a little ink mark right there. That's the center at the nut side. And I also got a little mark right there. That's the center of the heel side. Slap the ruler on it. Got it all lined up with the center line down here. And traced out the triangle. And that's what I came up with right there. So, yeah, shine the light on it a little bit, get that graphite showing up. Yeah, so that's more or less the heel profile. Now what I'm going to want to do is kind of like, I don't know how far back I have to go, but I want to kind of like join these two into one smooth kind of a curve thing that way and this way, and that should take care of things. And then once I've got those lines drawn out, then I'll come in, I guess, with the saw, cut it close, and pick it from there. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I sketched out some lines, and I checked, and the distance where this curve blends in and ends to the center, and the same distance on the other side, even though this curve hasn't finished blending in yet. It's the same distance on both sides. So this side of the body is actually a little wider than this side based on the center line, and so this curve I've drawn in kind of takes that into account and ought to get things evened up a bit more. So it ought to look okay when it's done. I think I'm actually gonna use the jigsaw for this, so I'll be back in a minute. And there it is, all cut out. So yeah, just cut it out. I'll come in with the Shinto rasp and kind of smooth out these curves. There's a little bump there at the end, there's a little bump there, maybe a little bit right there. So actually that'll probably come out with the sand or so, but yeah, this is not quite perfect curve there and there, so I'll take that down with the rasp a little bit if I can. Okay, smoothed it out with the rasp all along here and over here a little bit too, and from there the sander will take care of the rest. I guess the next step is going to be to actually sand this thing. I'll hit the front and the back, all the edges, and then round all the front, back, and the sides, and a little end here, and the bottom, the top, the sides, the front, the back, and then round all the edges. And I'm not going to do a heavy sanding on it. I want to keep like all the texture and stuff in it. Yeah, there we go, focus. Yeah, so it's a nice, beautifully weathered piece of wood here, and I don't want to try to maintain that, give it a more vintage kind of a look. So yeah, that's the basic plan. So time for a little quality time with the 60 grit and put it here. Your basic Black & Decker quarter sheet electric sander, and your basic Black & Decker jigsaw. That's what I cut the body out with. So no high dollar parts here, no $10,000 thickness planers or anything like that. So I'll be back. Okay, in preparation for sanding, I put some tape over the sections where I don't want to sand off my marks. So at the top and the bottom end of the center line, and underneath here is also the end of the neckline, and this right here is the bridge line mark, is underneath this piece of tape. That's what that one little line there was. So the plan is I'm going to sand everything else, and then I'll take the tape off, remark the lines on the part that's already been sanded, and then I'll sand the part that's underneath the tape. I'll be back. Okay, pretty much done sanding here. I didn't sand where the tape was yet. There's God, these things are hard to see. Yeah, there's one mark there, right there at the end of my thumb. And there's the other mark there. That one's a little easier to see. And I'll go ahead and draw those lines back in, and then I'll sand that stuff down. So, but yeah, I've done all the rest of it, and it cleaned up pretty nice. It's a rather pretty piece of wood, so it should look interesting. So, and it's all, I did all the sides and rounded all the edges and everything. So I'll just finish up the sanding and marking, and I'll be back. Okay, finished sanding it and putting the marks back on it. Got the center line back again. Got the neckline back, and got the bridge line back here. So I think the next step is going to be figuring out where the neck screws are going to go. Probably going to use 2 neck screws, like one there, maybe one here, kind of a thing. And then on the back side, if the screws are like here and here, then you go a little bit around each screw, and all the rest gets kind of contoured down to match up with this. Where's my line here? Yeah, that line goes there. And so yeah. So basically you put figure out where your screws are going to go, drill them, put the screws in, actually bolt it on, and then you can come in with the rasp a little bit and kind of or at least mark it out and get an idea. And then it's safer to do it without the neck on, since the neck is already shaped. At the very end, if you want, you can actually bolt them back together and then sand the two as one and get a pretty much invisible seam, which is kind of slick trick if you're interested. Me personally, I just kind of round everything on both pieces and then slap them together. So anyway, yeah, so I guess the next step is to go ahead and figure out where these neck bolts are going to go, and do that kind of stuff. Neck bolts and shaping up this thing a bit. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I got this figured out. The neck pocket, essentially, and the heel is 100 millimeters. I'm going to put the screws at 20 millimeters up and 70 up. Gives me 20 here, 30 here, because here I'm going to taper it. Where'd the neck go? Excuse me, little blackie. Yeah, see, the neck goes on something like this. So what I'm going to do is, you can see this line right here. there's going to be a taper. The screw will be here, and the taper will start a little bit behind it, come up and kind of match with that taper there. And then on the back side, it'll be this size on the top, but on the back it's going to be kind of tapered in on both edges, as you can see with that line there. These two lines in here, that shows where the taper is on the back side of the body portion of the heel joint. So that's the basic plan, and now it's time for a little quality time with the Shinto rasp and the drill. So I'll be back.